Good morning, card community. It's RJ back with another video. So let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day: two cards from 1994, the Ted Williams Company. One is an insert, 500 Home Run Club members. I believe this was a 9-card insert of certain 500 Home Club members. I have the entire set. This is the Mike Schmidt one of it. Interestingly, you can see here the name around the little signpost here, Mike Schmidt. For whatever reason, they put out a red variant where the text is red as well as the little stars that ring the 500. Don't know why. Don't know if it was on purpose, like a limited edition, or if it was like an error that was corrected. Do not know. But it's an interesting oddity, and most collectors, such as myself, super collectors, will have both variations. And my random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Today's random baseball item of the day, two things. I went to my annual pilgrimage to Cooperstown this past weekend and picked up a couple awesome books. I am doing my best to collect one biography of every member of the Hall of Fame, and I try my best when I come across books of obscure Hall of Famers to snag them. Two, obscure Hall of Famers, a lot of Negro Leaguers, unfortunately, are forgotten or little known Hall of Famers, so finding biographies of some of the Negro League players is very difficult, but I was able to find two. One is a man named Buck O'Neill. If you were a fan of the Ken Burns baseball documentary series, Buck O'Neill was prominently featured and has been a longtime advocate for baseball ever since, although he did die recently. But this is a biography. He was elected to the Hall of Fame after his death. This is a biography of his that I picked up. I was right on time. The other, more recent Hall of Famer, a man named Bud Fowler. Interestingly, I'm going to take a break, show you something real quick. Bud Fowler was what I would call a professional baseball player, meaning that's all he did. There's a great map I found in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to pause it right here and show you that awesome map. Hang on one second. Okay, so what you see here is a map in the Hall of Fame that details every stop on Bud Fowler's career as a professional baseball player, either minor league level, major league level, independent ball, wherever he was drawing his salary. I would hazard to guess that there aren't many minor league, major league baseball career men who've had such an extensive career, even as a player only, or a coach, or a manager. It's fantastic. If you get a chance, do yourself a favor, take a snapshot of this image, blow up the boxes, and read. Take a look at all those black squares. That's where he was. The man had a fantastic baseball career. I'm looking forward to reading more about him. I wish you guys all could as well. So, like I said, that map was a map that detailed Fowler's experiences around the nation. He was a professional baseball player. That's all he did. That was his life. This is an awesome book. I can't wait to read this. Learn more about the man, because there isn't a lot of information that I'm aware of. So this is probably a very good biography of Bud Fowler. So those are my two random baseball items of the day. Today's trivia question. I think I knocked the thing here a little bit. Let me turn this back a bit. Today's trivia question. Obscure teams, forgotten teams, and managers. So, the Philadelphia Athletics, eventually the Kansas City Athletics, eventually the Oakland Athletics, and soon to be the first professional baseball franchise that was a continuously running franchise represented in 4 different cities as they become Las Vegas Athletics pretty soon. Anyway, who was the last manager of the Philadelphia Athletics? Give me that answer. What you're playing for is I am going to give away some of the cards I got in the mystery box that are non-baseball because they're not cards I particularly need or care about. So I have no idea who this individual is. A guy named Kenny Galladay of the Detroit Tigers, a wide receiver, Prestige, 2020, Panini Prestige, little jersey swatch there. Not numbered, but that's the one. The second is a Topps Allen and Ginter of a individual named Scoot Henderson. I've got no idea who Scoot Henderson is, but this is kind of like a rainbow foil version. So those are the 2 cards you're playing for. If you can answer me that question, the last manager for the Philadelphia Athletics, just send me a email with the correct answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. Oh, by the way, if you are waiting on a previous win, I mentioned on Sunday that I am sending it out, and I did. I sent out all of those this morning, so they're gone. They're in the mail. They're coming to you, all right? I've got current. Hooray. All right, so today what I want to show off is I went to the Hall of Fame this past weekend, stopped at the gift store, and found what I love, the little box sets that are really awesome. I was able to find actually 3 individual unique Negro League box sets, so to speak. Shout out here to Shane, Shoebox Legends. I did send him a text and said, hey, look what I found. I think you need to go shopping at the Hall of Fame's online store, sir. Shout out to Shane, because he is working on a lot of Negro League things. And these are 3 inexpensive, easy things if you're interested in picking them up. So the first, all right, basically this is a pack of playing cards that highlight Negro League players. Now, I'm not a fan of this, meaning I got it because it's a set. It's a complete set, so I'm a geek for sets. I don't care if they're good, bad, or different or whatever. I get them. But these are like pencil drawings. So this guy right here is supposed to be Willie Mays. This is the quality of the artwork you're going to get. Let me show you a couple. So there are 4 aces. These are, I guess, supposed to be, I'm not sure, great pitchers, I suppose. So some guy named John Donaldson, not a Hall of Famer. Smokey Joe Williams. The Hall of Famers are denoted by two stars on either side of their dates. The dates are their birth and death dates. That's what the dates are. Smokey Joe Williams, Hall of Famer. Satchel Paige, Leroy Satchel Paige, doesn't look too bad. This is an image we're all familiar with for Satchel Paige. It says 1992. Did he really live until 1992? It wouldn't surprise me, but wow, I didn't know that. And then Andrew Rube Foster. I do not believe that is a very good likeness of Mr. Foster. Interestingly, the people who created this set included the Queens as females who had an influence or played in the league. So, Toni Stone, I know she played in the latter stages of the game back in when it went into the 50s, and Major League Baseball had begun to pretty much destroy the league. Effa Manley, Hall of Famer, one of the owners of the Newark Eagles back in its glory years of the 30s and 40s, nearly into the 50s, Effa Manley. Connie Morgan, another star of Negro League ball when they combined the sexes by letting females play into the mid to late 50s. She was a star, as well as Mamie Johnson. So that's why these individuals were included, because they actually played, looks like for the Indianapolis Clowns, but I don't know how good those images are of these ladies, but they were included in this set. Then, interestingly, this is the first time I've ever seen this, ever in any card set before. I've never seen this before. It highlighted the jokers were umpires. I've never seen a Negro League umpire on a card. Maybe there are some on postcards. Certainly they're in the background of some photos, but this one is dedicated to a guy named Robert Motley, who was a Negro League umpire. Now, why Robert Motley? Turns out his son became a famous artist, or not artist, author, and wrote a book interviewing his father, detailing the life of a Negro League umpire. So that's why Robert Motley is probably the lone, well-known Negro League umpire. He was the last surviving Negro League umpire, so there's a book about him, at least a series of articles in some publications. That's why he's probably included. He's the most well-known Negro League umpire, if there is such a thing. Cool though, because I've never, like I said, I've never seen a Negro League umpire in any card, a card dedicated to a Negro League umpire ever before. There's several umpire cards for Major League umpires, many, but that's the first time I've ever seen a Negro League umpire card, and it's part of the set. Lastly, I got a couple examples of cards that are not good. Again, here's the Willie Mays. You know what Willie Mays looks like, and I do not believe that is a very good image of Willie Mays. Here is your Ernie Banks card. I'm sorry. You could say this is really good if you're an artist, and I'm not an artist, so who am I to critique? But if you're going to do this and you're going to publish it, you at least should get somebody who's good. This one is the worst one I've seen. That is supposed to be Monty Irvin. If you know what Monty Irvin looks like, you know that doesn't look anything like Monty Irvin. So I'm happy to have this set because it is a full set. I get the whole box set that came in that card set. I love me some box sets, so I'm happy to have that. So even though it's bad quality, excuse me while I blow my nose. Sorry, it was dripping bad and I couldn't take it anymore. Anyway, love me some box sets. Second one I got, I'd never heard of this. This is a brand new set. Well, by the way, this Negro League card set came out last year, 2023 date. I don't know where I saw it, but it was a 2023 date on this card set. So if you want to get that, check out the Hall of Fame gift shop. One that just came out this year, though, there's a set of 67 cards highlighting the 1924 World Series of Negro League Ball between the Kansas City Monarch and the Hilldale Club. Limited edition of 10,000 sets if you want one. A little bit about it. There is a card in the set detailing it, but what it does is it actually is just dedicated to what happened in that World Series. So they have several cards of some of the stars. So this is Jose Mendez. He was one of the stars who participated in the World Series. He is a Hall of Famer. There are several player cards. Bios on the back. All right. There are a couple cards of some of the managers / owners of the club. J.L. Wilkinson. He's a Hall of Famer. I believe he was in charge of the Kansas City Monarchs. Yep. There's the owner of the Monarchs. He is a Hall of Famer. So if you're interested in Hall of Fame cards, it's another good one, another good set to get. If you're interested in having a Hall of Fame set of every player in the Hall of Fame and you need yourself some Negro Leaguers, this is a good set to get. So you had those two. You had player cards. You had manager cards. You also had this, basically a box score for every game. These cards here were included. Box score for each of the games. There were 10 games. Why 10? Mostly because in the Negro Leagues, what was most important was making money. They needed to keep the leagues afloat. They certainly wanted to crown a champion, but as long as they could draw a crowd and make money for these guys, they would do that. You didn't earn the money. Major leaguers did. Maybe Satchel Paige earned a good living, but nowhere near what the White Stars did. So these guys would play baseball as long as people were willing to pay. And so they had 10 games. This is the card for game one. And again, there's one of these for every game. And then they also had a more, like, kind of a detailed thing. They had one of these for every game. This is the game one card that kind of explains an important thing, a play that happened, and then goes into detail on the back about that key play. And that, again, this shows you what happened in that one game. Then there are a number of cards highlighting the parks. They did not just play at the two parks of the teams that were featured in the game. They barnstormed like Negro League teams do. They traveled where they could get a good turnout and a good profit. Smart for them because, Negro League ball, it's a good way for players of the time. Unfortunately, African Americans today didn't have the same opportunities. So when they had the opportunity to play ball and make some money, they took advantage of it by moving to the right stadium, doing what they could. Good for them. This is the layout of Shoreling Park in Chicago, which was the site of games 8, 9, and 10. A little bio about that park. So that is what is in this little box set right here. 1929 Negro League World Series set. Check out the Hall of Fame gift shop if you're interested. Better yet, go to Cooperstown. Go visit the Hall of Fame. Lastly, another awesome thing. I found this one. It is called a Fine Arts card set of postcards. All right, it's a 30 card set featuring stars of the Negro Leagues. And I'm going to show you some of the more famous ones, just 4 of them. I showed you a second ago the Monty Irvin card of that drawing. Let me show you a good artist rendering of Monty Irvin. That is a good representation of Monty Irvin. This one is not. All right. So there's Monty Irvin on the Newark Eagles. Really cool image. On the back, you can see basic things you'll see. There's actually Ron Lewis. I've heard of Ron Lewis. He's a famous baseball artist, sports artist, I suppose. And each card is serial numbered out of 10,000. When you buy the whole set, you're going to get each one I have is numbered that, and there's 30 total in the set. A couple other of the great stars that I have. Here is a Willie Mays, Birmingham Black Barons, famously Rick Whitfield. Buck Leonard, very nice image of Buck Leonard there. I love that a lot. Homestead Grays. And then lastly, Leon Day of the Newark Eagles. Really cool picture of Leon Day. So those are just 4 of the Negro League legends contained in this box set. But again, another little box set that I so adore. I'm going to knock over everything here. Definitely, if you get a chance, go to the Hall of Fame gift shop. Stop by the Hall of Fame again, like I said, if you can, and get yourself one of those 10,000 sets, either of postcards or the Negro League World Series set from 1924, or even the card set, although, not everybody wants a pack of playing cards, but things dedicated to the Negro Leagues, especially when they're quick and box set cards like that, I'll scoop up. I mean, I don't buy baubles. I don't buy T-shirts. I don't buy souvenir balls. I buy cards in sets. That's what I do. So those are 3 new great additions to my collection. I'm very happy to have. If you enjoyed that, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. Don't forget the trivia question. We'll do a drawing on Sunday. Certainly come back tomorrow, Wednesday and Friday for more. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week. Take care.